Welcome to Thrones and Scones. It's your weekday morning podcast where we do a little bit of the chitty-chatty bang bang about Game of Thrones over breakfast. Today, on this Wednesday, Tony, Hans, and Jeremy are all here. I'm one of them. Here's the other two yahoos. And we're hitting season 7, episode 7. Also known as, currently, the last episode of Game of Thrones that exists. The Dragon and the Wolf.
Okay, you have to take all of our giggling out just so we can have that long period.
Guys, we have made it. I think we touched on this maybe in a recap or something, but our first week of doing this podcast, I was like, hell yes. This is awesome. Like this daily episode thing is going to be no problem. We're going to cruise through this. And then the second week, I was like, this will kill me.
We are.
This is this is gonna ruin us all. Somehow we have survived with minimal issue, and we have made it to the very end of season 7. What a ride!
Yeah, Jeremy, still married, not divorced.
Not divorced. Yes, that's
Jen and I still going strong.
Yeah.
Tony still has
dude.
Tony is a dude. He's in fact a man.
Yeah, still a man.
Still a man.
So, I mean, I think we're doing pretty good. Surprisingly
short
well.
end of that one.
Well, don't worry, Tony. I do too. You know what
The penis of a crabber, son. Oh, we've made it. It's called The Dragon and the Wolf, which is a little bit of a lame title, kind of, but it's fitting, I suppose. It also might have the shortest plot thus far. For everything that happens, that seems crazy, but maybe they're just going for records at this point. It's like maybe there's an inside joke with the people at the wiki where they're like, all right, here's the rules. Every day when you write a plot, it has to have fewer words than the plot that you wrote previously. And it's just this little inside game that they play. They're good at it, and I hate them for it. So I will regale you in record time here with this plot. If you would provide me for one final time, until the next time, how you would like me to read it to you.
Sure. So, I have two options for you, and I can't remember if we did one or not already.
Well, you'll find out.
Oprah.
We think we definitely have done Oprah. Almost twice.
President Obama or President Trump? Take your pick.
Ooh.
So much politics right there.
I have never had a good Obama impression.
Yeah, I don't even know if I would know a good Obama.
I think a lot of people have a good Obama impression. My brother could do a pretty good one.
He's got a pretty characteristic speech pattern.
I watch Game of Thrones here in the Oval Office with Michelle. She likes Sansa. I think she's a bitch.
That's actually perfect.
It's actually pretty good.
We should just move on.
That's the plot.
That's the plot.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what, since it's so short, I'll give it to you in both, and then people can decide which they'd rather have.
Yeah.
And then decide, using just my impressions, decide how you want to vote in the next election. Which political party you want to throw your sport behind based on my terrible impressions. All right. Season 7, Episode 7, The Dragon and the Wolf. Tyrion tries to save Westeros from itself. And Sansa questions loyalties.
And she's a bitch.
And she's a little bit of a bitch. Just a bit. Sophie, I love you, girl. But fuck you. All right.
It's not bad.
No, it's pretty good.
All right, and then Trump. And to be clear, the Trump impression is like an impression of impressions. There is no good Trump impression.
No.
There are just hilarious ones.
Yeah. When you started the Barack Obama with the I was expecting you to say something else, but it was just me.
It's a secular. All right. Season 7, Episode 7, The Dragon and the Wolf. And the Wolf. Tyrion tries to save Westeros from itself. Sansa questions loyalties. I have the best loyalties. They're fantastic.
You're all fired.
Oh, that's funny.
That was good.
Not great.
It sounds like this. It sounds like Alec Baldwin does a pretty good Trump.
Yeah.
On Saturday Night Live, and you're right. It sounds more like Alec Baldwin doing Trump than it does
Right.
Trump. It's pretty good.
There have become these these super funny like Trevor Noah and Stephen Colbert and those are the ones that are coming to my head. Like they have very specific, very funny Trump impressions that sound nothing like Trump, but it's just they've kind of become their own characters at this point. It's just
I love Trevor
it's
Noah.
so much.
That's so good.
I thought that was good. I really like the I'm very loyal.
I'm very loyal. I inspire. Oh, I can't even get it. I'm trying to combine them now. I inspire. We also have today, for your enjoyment, peanut butter banana scones. Peanut butter banana scones. Baked in an oven. Let's get into this, y'all. Big freaking episode. Where do we start?
Would you say huge?
I would say huge. Is that not what you want?
No, that's exactly what I was wondering.
Okay,
Obama,
Obama.
famous for using the word huge.
Yeah, famous Barack quote there. All right. Yeah, it's huge. And let's just start from the beginning, I guess. I have so many things for this one. Want to kind of start tearing through it. We go to King's Landing, to the Dragon Pit, which we've never gotten to see before. It's a big pit. Okay. And we get some more weird 2x2 reunions that seem kind of fitting. The Hound and Brienne have a nice little moment. There are others. Tyrion and Bronn and Pod, etc. Tyrion and Pod. You can kind of just pick any two people, and they probably had a weird little moment together at some point or other.
The Hound of the Mountain.
The Hound in the Mountain, which is a pretty good one.
Pretty good one.
I liked that one a lot.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites.
Yeah, and then we go into a very tense, very cool meeting. I like this scene a lot.
Except for Euron Greyjoy, he's still a prat.
Yes, but I like what they do with him here.
You like that he's just kind of told to shut up?
Well, I do like that he's told to shut up. Yes, that's very much true. But with the reveal that they're kind of, that they were playing along,
Yeah.
and that Euron's thing was a ploy, I kind of like it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right.
So I didn't mind his behavior as much there because he was like being a seedy twat, and he always seems like one, so it fit well.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond that, I could care less for him. The fact that he's like they're sitting there about to have this cool moment, and he's just like, Theon, I have your sister, like, and everyone's just like, okay.
Yeah,
it's like we're not. Yeah, we get it, buddy. What were your guys' notable moments from this?
God, there's so much in this freaking. I feel like we almost have to just go through so much of it just so we are building in the direction for our. Although we're going to do our summary episode, so we can talk about a lot of like the interplay here.
Yeah. For sure.
So this wasn't. So the actual, if we're going to talk about in King's Landing in the Dragon Pit, not my favorite part of this scene. I had two smaller parts that I thought were freaking awesome. I love the Baelish aria because I've wanted this for a very long time. We all love Littlefinger. He's one of our favorite characters. So,
he's lovely.
Yeah, so seeing him get, to sit on the Iron Throne now is really just awesome. So happy for him.
Yeah, for sure.
Pretty sure he just like gets up there. No, it was so cool because I think the whole Sansa and Arya thing is really drug on. The payoff is good. Is it great? Probably not for me. But it is definitely enjoyable watching Arya just mid-sentence just like cut his throat. Like that is awesome.
Well, I mean, what more do you want from the payoff? I thought that it was pretty freaking great.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they didn't need to drag the weirdness out the way they did.
No, I definitely feel like that more this time. Like, it pissed me off the first time I watched it, but the fact that I didn't know this was going to happen made the reveal much cooler to me. I think that it was really good. Again, yes, watching it again, you wonder how much Arya and Sansa are hamming it up and how much is legit, and it does go on for a frustrating amount of time, but I still think it's a really good moment.
I think it'd just be cool, like when they show like Arya finding the letter and shows Littlefinger smiling, realizing he's manipulating. It would have also now to have like, and I don't mean like flashbacks, but like something of like, them saying, you did, like essentially like they were playing him while they were being played. Like that I don't know. You want almost like this is gonna sound stupid, but like a CIS kind of thing where it goes back and shows like all the little flashbacks of like what was really going on when.
Sure. I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
Or CSI. Yeah, that's what I meant. Not CIS.
CIS. Yeah.
CIS.
And CIS.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Yeah. But that's what I wanted in that moment of like, oh, now go back to all those scenes where you made me angry and be like show you actually walking out and giving like a high five to Sansa. Like, hey,
yeah, but I think Tony's got a point that I don't think they're necessarily on great terms to begin with. I think there's kind of that question of there's definitely a little tension there anyway at baseline, and like where exactly is that real baseline and how much do they really are they kind of on edge with each other compared to how much they were playing it up for Littlefinger? Because I think I don't think they're just like best friends and just doing this as a. But then
it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense that we got so. In theory, Baelish did get the Knights of Vale to come and all those things, and that was a really huge moment. So, if you've known all the things about his betrayals, why not just confront him from the beginning, right? I mean...
Well, I think that you have to get your ducks in a row. You have to, first of all, get him to a position where he is powerless to leave or move, which they do by luring him into that comfortable position. You have to have all the information. We do see somebody get a scroll earlier that we now assume to be, I don't know if it's the letter that is written to Ned and Catelyn that sparks everything or what, but they're kind of getting all their information, making sure that the Knights of the Vale obviously won't turn and take Baelish away. They got to have the whole thing against Lysa situated and know that everything's good there. So I think there's a lot to set up, and you can't do it necessarily too quickly. You got to play it close to your chest.
So my question with all of that, I liked how it played out. I liked the payoff. Thought it was great. My question is now you got to think Arya's going to be running some Littlefinger faceless Manning? I don't know what the verb is, but
maybe
you think she's gonna take Lord Baelish out for a spin?
I mean, a lot of people saw him die.
That's a good point.
But no one in King's Landing did.
It's true. Word is either going to travel, or everybody in the North has to be okay with Arya wearing his face, which seems a little taboo or something. I don't know.
That's a good point.
But actually, I hadn't really even considered it. That would be super funny.
That'd be super cool for me.
So mayhaps. Arya and Sansa do reconcile a bit at the end as well. They kind of, again, there's some tension, a little bit, but it's eased out, and they kind of establish where they're going from here, and it looks good. It looks to be much less frustrating moving forward. As for, let's see, I think my least favorite part about the whole episode was the stuff with Theon. Just because I don't care about Theon, and the fact that you take 8 minutes from this episode to try and give me Theon's story.
Prove that he's a man.
Me.
Yeah.
So Jon forgives him. which is a fine arc for Jon. I don't care about how it plays for Theon. And then he fights a fellow Ironborn. He uses his lack of dick to win the fight. Here's the thing. Removing a dick and balls, from my understanding, does not make you immune to pain in that region.
No.
And he gets kneed, I think, 4 times. And like every time he's just smiling. And sure, it's not doing the damage that you expect it to do. It's still going to hurt.
Yeah, he's still getting kicked in the pelvis.
Yeah. And at this point, Theon's like on death's door. Like, it's still going to wreck you. Like,
I wonder if it's like a combination of, I agree 100%. But from a devil's advocate type thing, I guess, or just for argument's sake, I wonder if it's more just because of everything he's been through. Like, it probably does hurt, but like this dude's been tortured left and right, all this stuff. So that this like getting kneed in the pelvic area is probably like no big deal for him. So I wonder if that plays into a bit.
That's true.
His pain threshold is just through the ceiling now.
Yeah, exactly.
I hadn't considered that. But then you think like the punches in the face wouldn't have been doing as much.
True. Good point. There's inconsistencies there. But I'll tell you the worst part of the episode.
Please.
It's that, and I don't know. I don't know my Targaryen history as well. But why have the same actor play Rhaegar Targaryen as Viserys?
So it's not.
It's not.
No. Because I thought that as well. I was like, oh, that looks like Viserys. And then I looked at him, and I'm like, well, it doesn't look...
Because I Googled it, and it said the same actor.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
No way. Yeah, that seems weird then.
Then
I'm looking... Oh, okay. I just Googled it, and it says no.
Oh, it says no. Okay. That makes me feel better. Because I thought for sure it was the same dude.
Yeah, let's see. Viserys was played by English actor Harry Lloyd. Rhaegar was portrayed by Welsh actor Wilf Scolding.
They look a lot alike.
They look a lot alike. It's the white hair.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes me feel much better then.
Who's that, or is the same actor that plays Tommen? It's so hard to tell.
Yeah. I wish they would have just cast Tommen as Rhaegar.
Tommen threw some white hair on him. That actually would have been hilarious.
But oh well. So yeah, they'd look freaking nearly identical. Which just him looking like Viserys almost made me like the idea of Rhaegar less. Like, ugh. But he seems like a chill dude. What is y'all's favorite moment of the episode? I think we got a lot of contenders here, of course.
Yeah.
I love the little thing. Like, there's lots of very little things, lots of just kind of body language stuff that I think is really good in this episode. Cersei not really flinching at the dragon, but flinching very much at the dead. The whole Cersei plan is like a runner-up for my favorite moment because it's so underhanded. It's crazy clever. She's really playing into everything, and she kind of gets out for the most part ahead at the end of the episode when it comes to most other characters, which I think is really cool. But I will say, my favorite moment of the episode is when Jaime finally calls her bluff and just walks the hell away.
Yes, love it. The snow falls. That is the coolest part.
Finally, Jaime is free to be a good character. He is not only free of Cersei, he is against Cersei. And, I can't wait. He's not going to rape anybody in this next season.
Oh, well, that's what I would have thought starting the series too. But anyway,
do you think Jaime ends up with Daenerys?
Yeah. I mean, wait, sexually?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I think Jon and Dany are gonna find out that they're related, and then to argue that Dany's gonna go evil. Or maybe, that there's going to end up being an alliance thing. Jaime's going to go Dany. Everyone's going to go Jon. And that's going to be another,
Jaime's not going to go Dany, because Dany's going to die.
Jaime's going to die with Dany.
Maybe. I don't see... I mean, if you're going to do that, then Tyrion has to... I see if they're doing that, Tyrion and Jaime have to be at odds as well. So, I think that either Tyrion will switch over to Jon, or Jaime will be with Jon.
Maybe Dany gets some dwarf.
This all for our speculation episode. In the meantime, tell me your favorite parts about this episode.
Yeah, I think I liked that a lot, but I think my favorite part still has to go to Littlefinger assassination.
Yeah, that was mine as well. I just still think the whole council conversation where Tyrion goes off to convince them, you think he's getting a victory when you realize Cersei's just pulling strings, and I think that's cool. I think it shows how far ahead she really is of everyone around her. Where every time you think she's in a weak position, she goes, "I'm not in a weak position. I literally just got everyone to do what I wanted, and they brought a dragon here, and I'm still winning."
Yeah. And by the way, Google, get your shit together because you're incorrect. I Googled it again because I remember, I specifically did this. I Google Rhaegar Targaryen actor.
Yeah.
Google tells me Harry Lloyd. And then I Google Viserys Targaryen actor, and it tells me Harry Lloyd. But that is not correct because I confirmed that they don't. Confirm. Well, when I put the pictures, I looked at pictures side by side, and they do look a bit different, but questionable. So it could be, but you said it was somebody else. So
yeah, whatever his name was.
Yeah,
Smitty Werben Jägerman Jensen.
I'm very much just think someone on Google just did the same thing I did and thought oh yeah, those look identical.
They're like, yeah, we're on Google. I went to we the get wiki, to make the laws.
And in the wiki, Wilf Scolding as Rhaegar Targaryen.
Yeah, so Google, get your shit together.
Get your shit together.
Of course, wiki is literally written by whoever's there, so I don't trust them.
Also sponsor us if you're interested.
Yeah, sponsor us. Well, see, my problem with Google is, we're getting all the data from these downloads, and it's not saying 300, 400,000 as I know we're getting.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Google,
trying to keep us down.
Can't keep us down. We'll get up again. Never gonna keep us down.
I mean, I think
you guys,
the whole stuff at the Dragon Pit, the different groups talking. I mean, like we talked about the pairing off. That stuff was interesting. It was cool. It's good in the sense of building tension. But the whole with the dead being released, and it kind of just they're waiting for it to come out, and then kind of runs across, and the chain almost breaks. I mean, that was cool. I think that's a cool scene in general. And showing that how to kill it and those things, cutting it in half as it's still crawling around. I mean, that was cool.
I think, yeah. Dragon Pit would be a sweet name for a barbecue sauce or something, don't you think?
Yeah, or a restaurant.
Hey, come down and try my Dragon Pit, my Bone Dragon.
Well, I am moving down south. Maybe I could.
It's true. You should just change your name to Bone Dragon and open up your Dragon Pit barbecue joint and just let everyone assume that that's what you've always been destined to do.
I think it'd be you gotta brush up on my southern accent. I think east or southeast though, they use different that's a different barbecue style, right? That's vinegar based or something.
Yeah.
Sure.
Did it bother you that Jaime left Cersei knowing she's pregnant?
No.
Nothing
about Jaime leaving Cersei could ever bother me.
Oh man, I don't know how I feel about that. It's that's his kid. He's abandoning his kid to a crazy woman.
Do you think she's actually gonna have a kid? I mean, do they even have enough time to play that out?
I don't think that's possible.
Yeah, I think she'll probably have the kid.
He'll be the kid will be 7 starting episode 1.
It's a shadow demon baby.
Shadow demon baby.
You could dip it. Chip it and munch it with new Candy Crunch, baby bottle pop, baby. Do you guys think that Bran is seeing visions in the fire? Did you catch this?
When he's just staring at it?
Bran and Sam are talking. Sam walks in. Bran's just looking at the fire. And then he goes over to Sam. And then Sam's like, blah, blah, blah. Is this something you can see? And then we cut to a Bran vision. But then we cut back. And Bran's talking to Sam. And they didn't go out to the tree or anything. Bran is still in the room. So is he seeing it in the fire? Are they making a connection here?
I don't know. It's interesting.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't... Is the Lord of the Light somehow connected to the Three-Eyed Raven?
I'm just saying. I don't know.
Are they the same?
I don't know. Maybe. Maybe Bran is the Lord of the Light.
I said this about season 7, but season... I feel like there's just a lot... There's a lot to... I know, I said this about season 7.
Okay.
But I'm thinking forward to season 8. And I don't want to say too much because we got eps for that. but I feel like there's still a lot to get through, or like to complete, and maybe they're just planning on cutting arcs short and having a lot of people die, which I assume anyway. But I don't know. Seems like a lot to nail out in however many episodes they're doing.
Yeah.
Do you think we're going to be surprised by the number of deaths of main characters next season?
No, because I'm prepared for it to be everybody but one from a main character perspective. So
see, yeah, okay.
I don't think it is, but I'm like, I'm ready enough. I mean, it's still going to be emotionally, like, I'm invested in it. It's still going to be great to watch and, heartbreaking to see. But I won't be surprised if there is ridiculously excessive main character death.
I think there'll still be a lot of houses still around.
I'm just calling it. And end of season 8, Night King sitting on the throne,
petting a baby dragon.
But then he pulls off his Night King face, and it's Arya.
It's Arya. Oh my god!
Oh shit! I hope you guys know too. I'm doing no research, and our speculations episode is just gonna be wild. I got a lot of stuff coming.
I can't wait. Oh, I think the last big thing here that we haven't touched on yet is Jon and Daenerys. They have sexual intercourse.
They have relations.
And they are relations, as we also learn in this episode. Because, Bran and Sam kind of connect the dots, find out that Jon is not even what Bran thought, Jon Sand, but is straight up just Aegon Targaryen, the probably 900th at this point. And yes, he would be Daenerys's nephew, and then they have sex. And
I have exorcised the demons.
It's so
this house is clean.
This moment is fine for me. It makes me wonder, like that whole moment where Jon is like, "We should go to Winterfell together." Do you actually think that he thinks that's a good point from a tactical perspective, or did he just want to fuck on the boat?
Oh, tell you when to get in that.
The latter part.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is rough, because these are the types of Stark decisions we see leading to terrible things.
Yeah.
So I don't like that.
And they could just easily just fly there. So I don't disagree. I mean, why not just have them fly there? Then they're both there quicker and everything's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because you can't fuck on
I was going to say, hard to fuck on a dragon.
But so much cooler.
Well, a dragon that's your son, especially. Drogon, don't look.
Drogon, eyes forward, Drogon.
You just feel your mom getting pounded on your back. By your second cousin? I don't know. Yeah. And then also, very end of the episode. Again, would have been cooler if this is the first time we saw Viserion. Still a great moment. The army of the dead comes out of the tree line. The Night's Watch, the wildlings start freaking out. And then Dragon freaking just knocking down a ton of the wall into the sea. And the army of the dead moving forward like it's no big deal. Do you think that Tormund and Beric are dead? Because it didn't show them dying, but most of that portion of the wall fell down, and I can't believe that they are not dead.
Yeah, I think they're alive. It doesn't make sense how they would survive that. And again, the army is moving so slow, but how long did it take from Winterfell to the wall?
I don't know.
Wasn't that supposed to be
week?
like a month? But it's...
I don't know about that long. Maybe.
I think it needs to be that long for season 8 to get things going correctly.
Well, I mean, if you can raven from the wall to Dragonstone and then fly from Dragonstone back to the wall in
half an hour,
I have to imagine
Winterfell abuts the wall.
Yeah. So, things I bet have to pop off pretty quick in season 8. With fighting this army of the dead. I'm going to go ahead and predict the first 3 episodes.
Really?
We deal with the dead, for better or for worse.
Oh, man.
in Winterfell. Like, and if they lose, they lose, and they continue going south.
Are they calling it like the Battle of Winterfell or something? What is I think there's already a name for this massive battle that they're planning.
Well, so the Battle of Winterfell we know is what they're calling the crazy, most expensive, whatever. But we don't know what it entails. So it might be with the dead. It might not be.
I see.
For all we know, it could be Cersei's army marching north.
Yeah, and that's the last I heard. Maybe more information's come out. I've been trying not to read too much about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But going back real quick, people that I talk to don't seem to think that Tormund and Beric are dead. But I feel like they kind of have to be.
I don't think they would kill off Tormund that way. Or I think it would be cooler. Like, they'd actually show his death. They would, for that sort of character, I think they would have to give us more than just him running down the steps and the wall exploding.
Yeah, well, and had they shown him running down the steps and shown him exploding, I would have even accepted that. Fine, sure. It adds to the fact that, these big characters can die in seemingly...
Insignificant ways, yeah.
Insignificant moments. Mm-hmm. But you can't not show it and just be like, oh yeah, he died.
Yeah.
He's dead. Like...
Yeah,
no,
totally.
Especially when you were showing them.
They're alive.
They must be. Beric has a part to play.
So does Tormund with Brienne.
That's true. He has a part to play, and it's her bits.
Part to play with Brienne, in Brienne, on Brienne.
Any other things from this episode? I know it's real big. We'll probably get to some more shizwa. By the way, we're going to be doing our recap with Rob, hopefully on Friday. We'll keep you updated on that. And then we'll have some more things for you after that, leading up to the brand new season, when we will tackle that episode by episode, of course. But again, wrapping up the Dragon and the Wolf. Guys want to throw in any final things?
What a great episode, though. I just think this was, it's not as kind of action-packed as some of the other finales have been in the recent, but I think it's setting up season 8 really, really well. Like, I'm excited, and April cannot come quick enough.
Although I don't know what you mean by that, Jeremy, because it is April.
No. We have, we got a couple more days. Unless this is on April 1st, and then, Jeremy, currently, it is, it's April 3rd. It's April 3rd?
It's April 3rd today.
Oh, on my calendar, it does not say April 3rd.
Get with it. We record these bright and early every morning.
Every morning. With our microphones and our huge hands.
Yeah. I'm surprised, Tony, that you were able to get through the Obama and the Trump consecutively without some birth certificate complaints there.
Hey.
Trump would have loved that wall.
Yeah.
He'd hate that dragon.
He would hate that dragon.
I think this show is foreshadowing a lot. We are building the wall on the wrong side of the country. just everyone knows. Watch a bunch of dragons crawl out of Lake Superior and just
winter's coming from the north.
Yeah. Hans, tell me what that peanut butter banana scone do.
It's not bad. It's pretty good. I would say the past trials with the peanut butter scone and the regular banana bread scone, technically. Both of those individually were better than the cumulative peanut butter banana scone. That's my final statement. Still good. Still not bad.
Yeah.
But not as good as the individual parts.
That was nice and beautifully concise. I do have one final question for you as well. Are you down with GOT?
Yeah, you know me. Okay, so you know me.
Yeah, you know me.
Big Star Wars fan. Okay,
big.
Huge.
Not the biggest.
You're
kind of a poser.
Well, no.
Great way to start this one off.
Big Star Wars fan.
Like a C+.
Yeah, okay. But anyway, loved episode 7. We've talked about this.
Yeah, great
I think
episode.
episode 7, amazing. Episode 8, Not the biggest fan. So right after I saw episode 8, was very disappointed. Tony, you had me sold that I was wrong after countless discussions after seeing it in theaters.
Right.
And so I bought it right when it came out, and I'm going in thinking like, okay, this is going to be better than I remember. I have my expectations are different now. I know what it is. I did like all those parts, and now I'm thinking, oh, maybe I did like all that. Maybe it did make sense. Not as bad as I thought. Watched it, got credits roll. I watched it with Jenna. Credits roll. I turned to Jenna. Didn't say anything. And I'm kind of like thinking, I just wanted to see just a general opinion because she saw it in theaters with me as well. Mm-hmm. I turned to her and she goes, that was boring. And I go, it was boring. And I was right to begin with, Tony. It's not a great movie. That's all.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing that you're forgetting. It is a great movie. That's it. No, I won't say it's a great movie. I feel like I have to come, and be the one who defends it so often that people think I love this movie. I don't love this movie. It is a huge departure from Episode 7, which, in my humble opinion, is the second best Star Wars movie.
Wow.
That's a huge statement. So now I have to know what's the first.
Empire,
obviously.
But I wouldn't
You think Episode 7 is above Star Wars?
Yes, because we did the whole thing where every time it comes out, Hans and I would redo our list, our ranking of all of the movies.
Let's finally, hear your list. I want to hear your list.
Well, okay, I'll give it to you.
Yeah,
but finally, I went back and watched all the old ones. I was like, all right, I gotta see them again. And they all, they hold up. Return of the Jedi holds up actually better than I think it does in my head.
Yeah, it's still good.
But it's just I enjoy watching Episode 7 more than 4 and 6.
And that's fair.
Yeah. But anyway, so Episode 8 is a good movie, I think, in some of the things that it does. The problem is, in some of the other things that it does, it's a terrible movie.
Yeah.
It has some of the worst lows of the whole franchise, I think.
Agreed.
There are prequel levels of cringe in that movie, which are really unfortunate, but some of the things that happen are awesome. I think that my favorite thing about that movie is it sets up Episode 9 to do whatever they want to do with Episode 9, because it had some of the Empire Strikes Back beats in it. Mm-hmm. It also had some of the Return of the Jedi beats in it, so that that Episode 9 isn't going to suffer from the Force Awakens thing of kind of being a carbon copy of a different movie. So I think that the benefit of Episode 8 will be the payoff with Episode 9. But if that movie falls flat, this movie, it has not a leg to stand on, because it's all about, setting up that uncertainty for anything.
Sure.
In my head,
Sure. Yeah, when I was thinking about, I'm thinking back on it now, and other than the throne room scene with Kylo,
so cool,
and Rey, I can't even think of that scene, and then the actual, just the visual scene of the ship going through the other shit. But that's just visual. How they got there still makes no sense to me, as far as why they did it and why anyone had to be on this ship, which has been autopiloted this entire motherfucking time. Okay, don't get me started on the chase scene, the world's slowest chase scene.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Okay, so other than those two moments, every time I even think of a scene, I'm like, well, maybe that was kind of good. Then I think about how we get to that scene and why we're there, and knowing that it made no sense. I don't know. The movie just had a lot of inconsistencies, a lot of plot issues.
But when Luke is breastfeeding, I find such an emotional connection to him.
He's not directly breastfeeding, but yeah.
I mean, but he gets it. He gets the nutritional value of breast milk.
Yeah, there's just, and maybe the movie's fine. It just didn't go the way I wanted it to go.
That's fair. I think it does largely come down to a lot of people, the treatment of Luke. I like what they did with Luke in the movie, and some people don't, and that's a big part of it.
See, I like the end. I like Luke's sacrifice, if you will. I think that is very Star Wars. That shows that it's the whole body soul kind of Jedi thing is as important to the universe as you being an actual character there. I mean, it goes all the way back to the originals, right? So I didn't mind that at all. But
I just took it. If he was gonna fucking die anyway, why didn't he just go there?
Well,
I think it was more powerful. I think it's more powerful of him showing what the Force can do, how much beyond Kylo has an appreciation for, right? So Kylo thinks he's got it. He thinks he's the shit. He thinks he's this strong master. And, you know, I think Luke is like, essentially you know nothing, Jon Snow. I mean, like, that's kind of the end of where he goes, look, I've shown you now that you have no appreciation for what the Force can do. But I'm going to be now always haunting you, reminding you of those things. Not only am I going to be able to follow you around in your dreams, I can do these things without even being a physical presence. And that was cool.
Yeah. So just to clarify, you're correct, Jeremy. Great movie.
I don't like the movie.
Thank you for coming to my
That's
aid
okay.
there.
It's all right.
So then, Tony, let me take a stab at your list here. I'm assuming 5, 7, 4, 6, 3, 1, 2.
Okay.
Oh wait, I forgot 8. 8 is before. 8 is right below 6. Between 6 and 3.
Not counting Rogue One and Solo.
Oh,
No,
I think no. I say okay.
Okay, so yes, 5, 7, 4, 6, 8, 1, 3, 2.
Oh.
Okay, good. I agree. I actually agree with that because not with your order of everything, but definitely 1, 3, 2 for me.
Really?
1, 3, 2.
Have
Like
you-
one is the cringiest movie.
I was gonna
like,
say.
watching it from like. First of all, young Anakin doesn't bother me as much as he does a lot of people.
Exactly.
Jar Jar doesn't bother me as much as he does a lot of people. The visuals in that movie are rough, are really rough, but I like it. I am not like a super hard-on Darth Maul fanboy, but I like him. I love that fight. I think it's a great fight.
Me too.
I like the whole kind of the overly political stuff is super annoying, but I like the kind of underseated thing they're sneaking around Naboo. I like the plot of 1 more than I like the plot of 2's the worst. I think most people would agree that 2's the worst.
Should have never been made.
And 3 has its redeeming moments, but it was also just so
CG.
it has like I think 3 is the worst of Anakin in my book. Like young Anakin has nothing on weird transition to Darth Vader in 12 seconds, Anakin.
Yes.
Yeah, they all have their issues. To be honest, I don't watch them at all. So, or like I haven't watched them in so long that I would, if I had to go just off the top of my head, what I remember as a kid watching them, I would have to say, and I take that back. I did watch 1 recently, and this is probably the only reason why I say this. But God, have you watched 1 lately, Jeremy?
No.
It's terrible. It's awful. Like it's so bad.
So here's my problem though, because 1 gave me one of my favorite N64 games. The whole pod racing game was fantastic.
Don't get me started on
N64.
pod racing. What a bullshit, stupid thing to put in a movie.
Oh, man,
It can be in the movie. It can be in the movie. That's fine. Make it 45 seconds, 2 minutes. Don't make it like a giant chunk of the movie.
I don't.
Annie?
I hope we get some pod racing in episode 9 at least.
Oh yeah, fingers crossed.
Bring it
But
all
where
back
do you
around.
put the offshoots then? Where, if you had to add them into that list, where are you putting them?
So 5, 7, 4, Rogue One.
Oh shit.
Hold on, wait.
6.
5, 7, 4, Rogue One. Okay, all right.
6.
Yeah.
8, Solo. 1, 3, 2.
So
1,
Hans,
yeah,
would you
1,
put
3, 2.
Solo? Where? Okay,
I'll just
give me
give you
your
my list.
Yeah, because I'm interested to
It's
see where
5,
you put Solo.
4, 6, 7, probably Rogue One, probably Solo, probably 8, and then 3, 2, 1.
I mean, you're not that
shit,
far
okay.
off from where you're ranking for Tony then.
That's pretty far off.
he put Solo ahead of 8.
Yeah, Tony put 8 ahead of Solo.
Yeah, just 1. He literally put
Yeah,
did
but he
1.
also has 7 way higher than I do, and his whole prequel series is all jacked up and
yeah,
wrong.
I'm talking about like where in this.
Yeah. Oh, but in the scheme of where they fall. where
Yeah,
those
I'm
two
saying in the
movies would
scheme
fall.
of where you're putting 8. I mean, like, it's funny that we're having this conversation of how great Tony thinks 8 is, and yet
Not how great, just not how
I mean,
shit.
he literally feels it. But Hans thinks it's crap, and it's still pretty far up in his list.
Yeah,
But here,
so
here's the
list,
problem
the,
with go
the
ahead.
list falls apart because the list isn't the best way to do this because my list technically is like if I am considering Star Wars in my mind, my list is 5, 4, 6, 7, hard line. The rest of the movies I'll never watch again.
Yeah.
Wait, you
Well, I don't know about never watch, but like, yeah, if you were to like 5 is a 10, 7 is a 9.5, 6 and 4 are 9s. Rogue One is a 9 in my head. Episode 8 is like a 7. Solo is like a 6.5, and then the prequels are like 3s.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. I can get behind that, except for and even 8, I would say I'm not that far off. Like I would say it's like a 6 or a 5 or a 3.
Yeah. So they're not equidistant steps.
And see, I thought Rogue One was really good.
It was awesome.
I thought that's one of the stronger movies they've made in that universe. Even if it's part of the series, I just think it's really good.
Yeah.
I watched it in theaters, and I remember, maybe not just really knowing what to expect. Thought it was boring. Then, but I went with like midnight showing, like release or whatever. I was really late. I was probably just tired. And then I rented it I think I bought it even. I can't remember. Oh no, it was on Netflix. Yeah. It was on Netflix. Watched it at home. Thought it was excellent. So
Yeah.
I stand corrected.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch it in the theater. It's one of the ones I can't wait to actually watch in theater. So.
That scene with Darth Vader at the very end is like in my top 5 Star Wars scenes.
That's good.
Yeah, he does what you want him to do in the original trilogy. Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good.
Although I kind of wish it would have been just like something over his shoulder and like him just saying something about I hate sand.
It just shows you through his eyes and he's picturing everybody made of sand and you're like, ah!
Yeah, or it's like, or he's he's sitting there and there's a what the shit is the little like sand timekeeper thing? Is it just a timekeeper? What are those called?
Huh?
The little timekeepers that have sand in them and then you flip them and the sand.
Hourglass?
Hourglass. He's just like, it's him like staring at an hourglass and then just like clenching his fist.
Yeah. And then he feeds himself a pear with the Force.
Yeah. Oh man. He's like he plugs himself in or takes a blood sample and he puts it in a computer and he like pulls up a thing and it just gives us his midichlorian count.
And it's higher than Master Yoda's. I mean,
Yeah.
Game of Thrones, ladies and gentlemen.